Hi there, it's Pam. And today's video is going to be a little bit different. I'm going to talk about why I created the Why Is It So Easy series and answer some frequently asked questions. So I've been tapping for over 23 years now, and 13 years of that was the faster EFT style. And I've been working with people all over the world for over 30 years now. With this experience, I feel confident in saying that I've worked and seen most everything. One of my clients and friend, Nancy, inspired me to create this Why Is It So Easy series. A series of videos where we're asking empowering questions, combining that with the tapping. Because they're so incredibly powerful, and I use them in session, but by creating these videos, it allows everyone to have access to them. Many of us have experienced challenges and difficulties in our lives, and the healing process can be very difficult. And many of us have programs and beliefs that everything is hard and that nothing comes easy. And if we have that belief, we then carry it into our healing journey, making the process more challenging than it has to be. I'll start with the part of why I included the easy into the empowering question. As I said, many of us have experienced hardships in our life. And we often have these programs or beliefs that things are hard, that change is hard, that you can't teach an old dog new tricks. Life is hard and then you die. These are all beliefs that people have, and many more. They're all things that we hear or that we've experienced firsthand. And this hard program can come from so many different areas of our life. It could be that you were learning something and you found it hard when you were very young. It could be that you compared yourself with someone else that was learning a bit faster, and then you felt that it was hard for you. It's like, how can it be easy for them? It must be hard for me. And then over time, you start to gather proofs of why it's hard for you. The messages can also come from society and the way people are frowned upon if they get it easy. Well, especially here in Oz. So it's important to uncover this program as early as possible. Or we could carry that belief into our healing journey, thereby making the healing process more difficult, more challenging, or sometimes we're making it harder than it needs to be. I know I did. If we're programmed to believe life is hard or everything in life is hard, that change is hard. Our healing journey will be impacted by that, by this hard programming that's running in the background, making things harder than necessary. We'll even find committing to saying the empowering questions as hard work. No matter what we attempt, even the most positive of actions, the hard programming always wins. Henry Ford is famous for a quote. If you think, hang on, he's famous for a lot more than that, but if you think you can and you think you can't, you're right. If we think it will be hard, then it will be hard. Our thoughts come from our beliefs and the programming, quite often received in early life. So by including the easy reference to things being easy in our empowering questions, we will uncover and eliminate any hard programming that could be running deep inside at the same time. Let me give you an example of how it works. I read a comment on my YouTube channel the other day, and it was on the video, "Why is it so easy to be successful in business?" The viewer was listening on his phone, and he commented that he wanted to throw his phone across the room. That's how angry he was at the statement of why is it so easy to be successful in business. So what this shows us is unconsciously he had a belief that success in business is hard. But he continued tapping, and if he continued that, why is it so easy tapping, for 21 to 30 days, I believe he would release the resistance inside to it being easy. And therefore, his business success would become easier and easier. If he had not listened to it and felt that trigger, he would not have uncovered the fact that he held this deep-seated belief that business success was hard. Now, maybe it come from what he's seen as a child. Maybe it's what his parents said. Maybe it's a meaning that he gave to an event in his life. We don't know where it come from, but by tapping on the empowering question, you're able to release your body's reaction to the statement being true, and therefore allowing you to gain another perception, a different perception. Something like, why is business success so easy? So how do the empowering questions work? We are asking these questions because the brain is like a search engine. And once we ask the question, the mind will go back inside, looking through all of the files, all of the data, all of the memories, looking for the answer. What I've witnessed in over 30 years of working with people now is we already ask these questions, but in a disempowering way. Why am I so fat? Why am I always so tired? Why do I always get sick? Why do I get 3 colds a year? And what is happening is the brain is always looking for the answer, such as you eat too much, you don't exercise enough, you're dumb, you're lazy. Even if they are no longer true, or they're not true at all, but by consciously asking empowering questions, we are taking direct control of the mind and reinforcing what we want to be experiencing in our life. Taking our wishes and desires and putting them in as programs and beliefs so that no matter what, if you're conscious or unconscious, we are still going to the same destination. If it's a program or a belief, we will do it automatically. For example, if we ask, why is it so easy to heal? The brain will be directed to find evidence why you are healing and why it is easy to heal. It is pulling up all this data and files and support, anything to support that statement about healing being easy. Could be something like, I've done it before. My body knows how to heal. It could be someone you know that's healed. And your brain starts referencing that. It's all of this is building a new belief and program inside of you that in the future you will automatically operate from. One of the questions I get asked is, what is the difference between affirmations and afformations? So affirmations have been around since I think the 1980s. They're I am statements, such as I am healed, I am rich, I am healthy. If these statements aren't quite true, at the present time you're stating them, we can be reaffirming why it's not true. We have an internal struggle that is going on. And that's because we can't find the evidence to support the statement. We can't find the evidence of being healed or wealthy, whatever it is you're saying. Affirmations was inspired by Noah St. John, such as, why am I so healthy? Why am I rich? And these are very powerful statements and way more effective than the affirmations. They have less resistance. But when we're asking the why is it so easy empowering questions, we are bringing in the ease to let's make it easy and eliminate all of the hard programming and all of the resistance all at the same time. Some people ask, why don't we just tap and do some tapping to fix the problem? Because many of us have been searching for what's wrong and always looking at all the things that we want to heal, to fix, to change, to adapt, we can find it difficult to focus on what it is that we are wanting, what our intentions are. And while a large part of this channel is dedicated to tapping on the issue and the problem, and there is a place for that, absolutely a place for that, I started to incorporate havening at the end of each session so that people could start to imagine what it would feel like if their issue was gone. Further down the track, I brought in the empowering questions. As some people have done the work, they've done massive amount of tapping, and they're now ready to focus more on what it is they want to be bringing into their life. What is it they want to be attracting into their life? And repetition of these empowering questions are building new neuro pathways. Someone who is still deep in their challenges, who might be feeling stuck and overwhelmed, would not respond as well to the empowering questions, as it is too big a leap from where they are to where they want to be, ending up in a river of uncertainty and the unknown, sending them straight back to where they were. Okay, an example of this is if someone's broke and they're up to their eyeballs in debt. And it's been that way for a while now. The likelihood of them using the empowering questions and having 10,000K show up compared to someone who has done the work. They've done some work, they're clearing out, they're releasing all their money blocks, and they're now ready to experience abundance in their life. They're ready for it to just flow in. That person, it would be more likely for the 10,000 to just show up, because they're more open to receiving. Now, that's not saying that the first person, if they just keep at it and they keep tapping and they keep listening, absolutely. I know it's happened because people let me know it's happened, whether it's a 10,000 or just money showing up. So it can happen, but it's more likely, is all I'm saying, is if people have done work clearing out the blocks. Another question I get is, why do we do the tapping at the same time? And it is exactly for that reason. When we say these empowering questions, we can be triggering something unresolved, and they don't fully feel true. You don't fully feel in alignment with what you're saying. We have some resistance to the statement, to the question. And we're using the tapping to clear all that out. We're saying the empowering questions, and then if there's any reaction within the body, we're able to release it. And I also get asked, why don't I use all the points? So we've got here and here and here and here and here and here and here, and there's so many other points. The reason being, as I said, 13 years ago, I come across, there's many different modified styles, but I come across the faster EFT style, and they didn't use them points. And the main thing we do is we just check in and make sure that we're getting the results. And if we're getting the results, then we don't have to change the style that we're using. Another question I get asked is, how often should I be doing the Why Is It So Easy videos? Ideally, at least once a day. I believe that you should find a video that resonates with you, or an area where you want a significant shift. And then it has been scientifically proven that if you implement something for 21 days, 21 to 30 days, there's different schools out there, that you can create a whole new belief in that 21 to 30 days. So it would be my suggestion that you perhaps do it in the morning using the tapping, because as I said, we want to make sure if there's any resistance, we're clearing it out. And then maybe at night, you just listen to it before you go to sleep. And what happens is you're setting the unconscious to be searching for them answers while you sleep, which is a great way. The other thing that after we do that we need to be doing is we need to be looking for evidence that it's working. You need to be searching for any little change that's happened and celebrate that change. Anything that, like, so if you're doing the money one, you could be walking down the street and you find $10. Hey, there's a shift. There's money coming to you easily. And you start to celebrate it. It can be just an internal yes, or it could just be acknowledging that yes, things are changing. Change is easy. It's already happening. And then the more you celebrate it, the more you notice it, the more you reinforce it, whether it's big or small, the more that will be attracted into your life. By doing this, you're strengthening your new beliefs and you're strengthening your new neuro pathways, because these questions are creating new neuro pathways, and they're only going to get stronger and stronger as you create this snowball effect of watching and seeing the shifts and seeing the changes. You're setting your brain up to always be searching for answers, but answers that support you, answers that empower you. Another question, where do I begin? Where do I begin? I suggest you just find a video. From my Why Is It So Easy series that just looks good to you, it sounds good to you, it's something you want to be attracting or bringing into your life, and you just get tapping. And you just get tapping. Start there. Start today. And don't forget, subscribe to my channel. Please leave a comment. Let me know if these questions and answers were helpful to you. Let me know if you understand the Why Is It So Easy series better now. Has this answered your question? Has it helped at all? I thank each and every one of you for all the support that you give me and the response the Why Is It So Easy series has had. Keep tapping.